Good morning, One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. On this fabulous, is it the last Sunday? It's the last Sunday in September, isn't it? Oh, it's my brother's anniversary. I almost forgot. I'll have to tell him. I am going to share some music with us. This is just sound, but it's a beautiful way to start our Sunday. Get it going here. This is Margaret Owens, who is one of my all-time. Can you all hear it?
The rain will fall, the wind will blow, the sun will shine and the grass will grow. The seasons changing, but all we know, love's sprouting up all around us. I have been high and I've been low. I have held on and I have let go. I've walked a path of joy and sorrow, but above it all I'm grateful. Thank you for my health, but thank you for my healing. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for my life, I'm blessed and I am perfect. Thank you for this beautiful day. I have been stressed and been relieved. I've faltered, yes, but I still believe the greatest things that we will achieve are percolating here within us. It's not for me to know the how. I have to be present here and now, to just align and simply allow spirits called to guide me ever onward. Thank you for my health, but thank you for my healing. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for my life, I'm blessed and I am perfect. Thank you for this beautiful day. Out of the dark into the light of a brilliant and brand new way. Gazing upon the blessings that abound, flowing to me every day. Thank you for my health, I thank you for my healing. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for my life, I'm blessed and I am perfect. Thank you for this beautiful day. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you for this day. I thank you, I thank you, thank you for this beautiful day.
So what a wonderful way to start and kick us off. I love that. Thank you for this beautiful day. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ralane is our practitioner of the day, and I know that she has a story for us.
Yes, I do. But why don't we first pray? So let's just close our eyes and feel the beauty of this morning. Feel the beauty of the presence of God. Just feel the beauty of ourselves and each and every one of us here, the beauty of our oneness, our connection, the beauty of our joy and our happiness. And we know that we are one, we are one, we are one. We feel this oneness. And I know that this morning is just an absolutely perfect service with so many wonderful things happening with the fall equinox and Just a special holy time of year this is. I know that Jim and I both woke up this week to two owls hooting very early in the morning. And I thought, what a divine way to feel the fall equinox. And these two owls come every year. One has an alto voice and one has a soprano voice. And so it just felt so divine to hear them. So in this divine moment, we just feel our sacredness and our specialness and how wonderful and how holy life is. We're so blessed, and we're so blessed for the One Heart, One Mind community. Thank you, Spirit. And we release this prayer with so much gratitude and so much love. And we simply say, and so it is. Okay, so I'm going to tell a Yom Kippur story because tomorrow is at sundown is Yom Kippur. This is a very old story, and it's called Higher Than Heaven. It was the night of Yom Kippur, the holiest time of the year. As all the Jews were gathering in the shul is a place where Jewish people gather for worship, anxiously awaiting their Reb's arrival, their rabbi, to begin the prayer service. Rabbi Shneur Zolman, also known as Alter Reb, mysteriously left the European village. Some of his devoted and admiring Hasidism speculated that their beloved leader went to heaven, connecting to God and his angels in the heavenly spheres in preparation for this holy time. Where was their beloved leader? As the Reb's Hasidism waited worriedly for him to arrive, he was climbing deep into the woods with a sack on his back to chop down wood. They later learned that he proceeded to bring the firewood and the sack into a lonely little house of an impoverished widow who had just given birth and her 5 small children. Saving a life is so important that chopping wood and creating fire, normally forbidden on the holy day, are permitted. No task was beneath this great Torah scholar as he created a blazing fire in the fireplace, unpacked the food and clothes from the sack, and lovingly fed the children and left the woman with many kind and caring words. Perhaps we could say that Alter Reb went to a place even higher than heaven. So true, this was retold, this story by a woman. She's a teacher and a mother, and her name is Shula Breitsky. And she retold this story, and she added, true goodness and giving often involves nurturing and caring in little ways that go unseen. So what is true goodness? What is true giving? Judaism gently teaches us through stories that true goodness is not carried out in a blaze of glory. Impacting this world is not reserved for knights in shining armor or actors in Hollywood. It is the responsibility and the right of every one of us, with all our talents and strengths, and yes, with all our weaknesses. We and our loved ones are immortalized long after we are gone through the kind acts on this earth. It is through this goodness and giving that we touch the divine, ascending higher than heaven. And I was thinking about this week, Jim and I went over to the grocery store because we knew there was a food drive and we wanted to participate. So we just specifically went over there for that. And we bought a $10.74 sack of groceries for the food drive for the people that are hungry. Well, I had 3 employees come over to me and thank me for contributing this bag of groceries. And they even went through and showed me all the different things that they had picked out at their grocery store. And so I got to see everything that was in there. I felt so uplifted and so connected with the whole food drive and with everyone there, and just so grateful. So I went out and there was a homeless man there, and I gave him $1. He happened to be one of the happier homeless men I'd seen in a long time. And he just got even happier. He was smiling, he blessed me, he was waving at me. He was so appreciative. And again, I felt that uplift. So I think with the story about the rabbi, it was really wonderful that he made the fire and brought the food, but I truly think it was the kind and caring words that was the most powerfully felt by this woman and her children. And the same with giving from, our hearts for the small little things we did at the food drive. I think if we connect with our divinity, with all of ourselves and with everyone in the world, it just feels wonderful. And I think that's what Yom Kippur is all about: compassion, kindness, and love. And here is September. I'm already thinking it's October. No, September. Okay, September's affirmation. Life lives in me and through me. Every breath is spirit flowing through me. I'm here to live and to live abundantly, and joy shines from me, and love lights my way. I live fully now, and so it is.
So it is. All right, so I have some more music for us. I'm going to share just the sound again because it's not a video, it's just an audio. And this is from our friend, well, she's my friend for sure, from Melissa Felipe, and it's called The Whole of Creation, which is in keeping with today's theme.
Did you notice the squirrels perking up to watch? Do you feel the sky bending down to hear all the leaves on the trees looking over to see, all holding their breath? The whole of creation is standing on tiptoe to see the wonderful sight of the children of God coming into a row. Now is the time. Do you see the sun rising just to be here? Birds are flying high just to be apart. And I can hear the drums of the ancient winds announcing our birth. The whole of creation standing on tiptoe to see the wonderful sight of the children of God coming into a row. Now is the time. Now, in a world of peace, is standing on tiptoe.
I can just see the whole of creation standing on tiptoes to see everything in its view. Oh, all right. So, good morning again. One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. And I always like to remind us that our spiritual community is this loving and welcoming space open to anyone who is looking for a spiritual home, where they can explore and expand their experience of the divine presence, which is always right where they are. So this week's message is Mission Possible. Such a great topic. When I saw that, I thought, oh, that is so wonderful. And as you might know, I'm a huge proponent of asking ourselves empowering questions. I actually got that idea from Michael Beckwith, credit where credit's due. But I think this topic, Mission Possible, can be posed as two incredibly powerful questions. First, what's my mission? And second, why is it possible? Ernest Holmes, in the Science of Mind philosophy, consistently emphasized that there is only one life and that we are all living our individual lives within this one life, that we are centers or points of consciousness within the one life, always connected to our source, always connected to all of creation, just like the song said. We're all literally, not just figuratively, living within the same life. And Holmes also stressed that within this one life exists the infinite possibility or the potential of the mind of God, of the infinite resources that are available to us within the mind of God, which is unlimited in its scope. Holmes suggested that any limitation we experience is only due to our belief in limitation. We impose limitation on ourselves through our belief. And here's where I love to use one of my favorite Holmes quotes, which I'm sure you've heard from me before. I even know what page it's on in the Science of Mind text. It's on page 37. And it is, and I know it by heart, we are bound because we are first free. The power which appears to bind us is the only power in the universe that can free us. And this quote is just so empowering. If we're the ones who have imposed limitation on ourselves by our beliefs, then we can also free ourselves through our beliefs. So in essence, the idea of Mission Possible is an empowering and inspiring message. We are centers within the one infinite life of God, and our mission is our inner calling, not something we're assigned from the external world, but the divine urge. That's what Holmes called it. He called it the divine urge, something we feel called to express. The spirit seeking further expression through us in our unique way. And as we align our thoughts and our feelings and our state of being with our mission, with our heart's desire, our mission becomes not only possible, but inevitable, because the principle of creative law works with mathematical certainty. Mission Possible then means that each of us as individuals must feel the divine urge within us, the one that is spoken from our heart, and we have to embody it, and nothing can stand in the way of its fulfillment, no matter what it is. If it's to create a business or just be the most kind, loving person you can be, or maybe it's living in a perpetual state of gratitude and joy, whatever you're called to do and to express. I don't believe that spirit plants a divine urge within us that cannot be brought forth into form and experience. Our mission is possible because it already exists in potential within the mind of God. And our work is simply to accept it, to believe it, and to allow it to come into form. Now, obviously, I'm going to always thinking about this, I think, do I have to say that? But I will. I'm not going to be able to jump off the ground, defy gravity, and fly just because I really want to. But we can demonstrate anything that follows the rules of time and space that we live in. And I don't think science is even understands or has discovered all the rules of time and space, of our time and space reality yet. So even what's possible is still a question mark. But so far I have not been able to leap into the air and fly. So today I thought I'd focus on some ways in which humanity as a collective consciousness has demonstrated that life itself is a mission possible. I like to speak of I'd like to today to speak to a variety of holy days, Yom Kippur being one of them, that are happening this week that might have deep meaning and inspiration for us. As an example of mission possible, what's possible for us. And also I'd like to talk about some figures from history that have demonstrated their own mission possible. We could call this Sunday's message a veritable smorgasbord of spiritual inspiration, and I want to keep it light and uplifting and just inspiring. So I think I've mentioned before that every week I get an email from a wonderful CSL minister named Scott Aubrey. I actually really look forward to his email every week because he highlights events in the world that are relevant to us as practitioners of science of mind, and to the spiritual principles that we stand on, as well as the practices that reinforce them and bring them alive in our lives. And he talks about events that I would never have thought of. For instance, did you know that today is Confucius's birthday? Neither did I. And yet I think we can use the teaching of Confucius as practical application to the spiritual principles that we live by, to see our mission possible expressed in our lives, in the world. Confucius, it seems, was a kind of a feel-good kind of guy. He encouraged everyone to live the values of kindness and peace and integrity, values that drive meaningful lives, which he definitely believed were mission possible. Now, Confucius lived around, I think it was 550 BCE, which is before the Common Era. Sometimes we call it before Christ, but it's BCE is before the Common Era. And he died in 479. And to put that in context, it was about 500 years before Jesus. He was a Chinese philosopher and a teacher and a political thinker. And his wisdom, along with other wisdom teachers of the time, kind of shaped Eastern thought for over 2,000 years. Confucius was alive during a time of real social and political turmoil, which sounds a bit familiar to us today. And he devoted his life to teaching values that emphasized honesty and moral integrity and harmonious relationships with everyone. He didn't just focus on the mysteries of the divine and the unseen part of life, although I believe they informed his philosophy. Confucius stressed practical ethics and kindness and respect and devotion to family. He called people to live lives of virtue and integrity. And for us, as practitioners of science of mind, these are the fruits of the spirit, as scripture says. These are the fruits of our embodiment of universal truths. They're ways of being that help us to live spiritual principles in our daily life. Confucius offered guidance on really practical aspects of life, of respect and virtue, responsibility and harmony with each other and with the world, with nature and animals and everything. And Confucius really gave people more than just rules to live by. He taught that there is this deep purpose and meaning in life, and that it's fostered when we live from these higher values. I'll share a few quotes with you. Let me see if I can find them. I think I remember what they are, but I'd have to read them. Oh, here they are. So one of his quotes, he had like hundreds of quotes. I mean, there's books of Confucius's teachings and his quotes, but one is, a heart set on love will do no wrong. Ow. If we fill our hearts with love, we are love, we live love, and we express love in our daily lives. This stands on the spiritual principle that God is love, and by extension, so are we. You know, and another quote that I thought was interesting and applicable is, if I am walking with two companions, you know, I need glasses for this. If I am walking with two companions, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. Oh, I love this. It reminds us that we're always a choice. You know, we have creative agency about what we choose to think and feel and be. And we can emulate the good, and we can correct anything within us that is out of sync with love, out of sync with our own divine nature. I love that we have creative agency. We choose, and we choose in almost every moment. And this, just one last quote. I thought that was pretty good too. He said, an inconvenience is an unrecognized opportunity. You know, and it's based on the principle that life always supports us, that whatever shows up in front of us, whatever challenges greet us, as Michael Beckwith put it, I really like Beckwith. I listen to a lot of, he calls them gifts in work clothes. And I like that because they highlight for us anything that is out of harmony with our divine nature. You know, so I think Confucius's birthday is a reminder that not only is it beneficial for us to develop an intimate experience and relationship with the divine presence that's right where we are, but it's that it's also very important to express or to live our experience of the divine in our everyday lives, in each and every activity and encounter, just to be attentive to how we respond to what's right in front of us. You know, and I always quote this from the Lord's Prayer. Jesus advised us to let nothing lead us into temptation. And the temptation is to allow the world to be our authority. We are our own authority. We stand on universal spiritual truths, which are always grounded in love. Confucius reminds us to live from spiritual principle and act it out in the world. That's just beautiful. What a wonderful way to live. So another serving from our smorgasbord of spiritual inspiration is Yom Kippur, which Ralane so beautifully spoke to already, but I'm going to elaborate a little. I'm not Jewish, so if I get anything wrong, Ralane, you can tell me. Yom Kippur is in Judaism known as the Day of Atonement, and it's considered the holiest day of the year. It's the culmination of the 10 days of the Jewish high holy days, which began with Rosh Hashanah. I spoke to a little bit last week. It's a time of personal renewal, a time of recognizing our at-one-ment with spirit. And in Judaism, they practice fasting, forgiveness for ourselves and others. It's a time for kind of cleaning up any unresolved guilt or resentments or unfinished business from the previous year, and for starting anew, moving into a consciousness where our lives are mission possible, right? So I have another quote from Rabbi, I guess he's a very famous Jewish theologian and mystic, and it is from, is this it? No. Let's see, I'll find it. There it is. From Rabbi Abraham Joshua Herschel. And he wrote about Yom Kippur. He said, Yom Kippur is not a day of personal petitions. We don't pray for things, but for inner renewal. On this day, we seek to turn away from the fear of dying to the love of living. Oh, that sounds like Mission Possible to me. And I love Herschel's emphasis on awakening to life's sacredness, standing face to face with life's possibilities and with our own mission possible, and they're all inherent within life itself. It sounds very science of mind to me, very inspiring and very empowering. I just see such strong similarities to Yom Kippur and science of mind. In New Thought, atonement is seen as that at one ment. And my understanding of Yom Kippur, that it's not about honoring or connecting with a distant God out there somewhere, but awakening to the truth that we are never and have never been separate from the divine in the first place. And the confession and the repentance of Yom Kippur is the same practice of releasing any false beliefs of separation from our source and releasing any beliefs we may have about limitation or lack of any kind. In our at one-ment with source, we can always create anew. We can always come home to the reality with a capital R of our own divine being. Yom Kippur is also a day of fasting. Now, this is not a practice that I have used much myself, but I liked the idea. I can see how physically fasting can symbolize a turning away from our outer distractions so that our soul can feast on spirit, kind of a spiritual tune-up, if you will, emptying ourselves of past events and circumstances and creating a space for new spiritual revelations and awarenesses. Many spiritual traditions have some form of fasting, which in essence is moving away from our identification with body and reminding us of who we really are and in our divine nature, in our at one-ment with spirit. And another spiritual tradition of Yom Kippur is that, and I haven't fully wrapped my mind around this, but Yom Kippur is that our names are inscribed in the book of life. And from what I read and from what I understand, from a metaphysical perspective, we can look at our names being inscribed in the book of life as our names being, the name of God being inscribed in our consciousness. Each thought or each intention and belief is written into the creative law of mind, which in turn shapes our experience, right? Yom Kippur can remind us that we are the authors of our human lives, that we have creative agency by what we choose to hold, to inscribe in our own book of life. Now, I don't know if that's really in keeping with the Jewish idea. I'll ask later, but that's what I got out of it. And finally, from Yom Kippur, the forgiveness of Yom Kippur is very similar to the practice we use in New Thought. It isn't God asking God to grant us some kind of pardon or for our misdeeds or our errors. It's a release from the bondage that we are holding ourselves in with our resentments and our guilt and our self-condemnation. Forgiving others and ourselves clears the subconscious of the resistance of any old ideas that are heavy and weighing us down. I really think of them as resistance in the flow, so that spirit can flow through us and flow through us freely. And that is for me what forgiveness is all about. Yom Kippur is kind of the culmination of the Jewish, it isn't kind of, it is the culmination of the Jewish high holy days. It's a season of spiritual renewal. And from a metaphysical view, it's kind of a cosmic reset button, moving us into the truth of our constant and unchangeable, our consistent divine nature, where each moment is an opportunity to step into alignment with divine order, divine love, and divine truth. The message and the reminder of Yom Kippur is really about release of the old, renewal of our connection or our at one-ment with source, and a realignment with a life that of greater peace and greater love and greater harmony. Yom Kippur has this kind of quiet sacredness that is a personal celebration of our own lives and our own mission possible. Creating that space to really get to it. So, another holy day that I want to share that is happening, actually it's happening next Saturday, so almost a week away, but I'd like to speak to it today. And it's the feast of Saint Francis of Assisi, which is celebrated on October 4th. And the feast commemorates the life of Saint Francis. And Saint Francis was born in the 12th century. And because of his love of animals and the environment, he's the patron saint of animals and the world at large, Mother Earth, the environment that we live in. And I sometimes think about Saint Francis and his devotion to the animals and to the environment. As I watch the birds play in the bird bath, or even the feeders or the hummingbirds come eat at my hummingbird feeder, or any wildlife I see in my backyard, and there seems to be a lot. Francis had kind of this unique vision of creation. He saw all of creation, humanity, the animals, the environment, plants, trees, flowers, the sun, the moon, the stars, water, everything, wind, air, all of the earth as brothers and sisters in creation, and all revealing God's love. I love that he saw everything as a revelation of the love of God. Saint Francis saw all creatures as being just one big family. And he addressed them as brother sun, sister moon, brother dog, sister cat. He believed that the way we respect creation, our mother and the animals, and that then we reflect it into the way that we treat other people in our lives. He believed that as we care for the earth and the animals, it evokes kindness in us, and it helps us to be better people in general, and to live mission possible. Saint Francis believed that God's care extended beyond the human family to the whole family of creation. Oh, I love that. It fills me up when I think about that. He believed all creation is good, and that there's no separation between the secular, what we view as secular, and the sacred, that they're one and the same, that everything's sacred. There's so many stories about Saint Francis and the animals, and actually probably most of them are more legend than fact at this point. The one that always sticks in my mind is called the Wolf of Gubbio. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's a village in Italy. And I'll just give you the highlights because it's kind of long, but I love this story. It always when I think of St. Francis, this story always pops into my head. So there was this wolf that was terrorizing the people of the village of Gubbio. And the wolf was attacking their livestock and going after the people whenever they left their village. And no one really knew what to do. So St. Francis got wind of this, and he went to the town, and he found the wolf, and he walked right up to this snarling wolf. And he said, "Hey, you have to stop harassing the people of Gubbio." And everybody was surprised that the wolf didn't just attack him right there and then. So Francis and the wolf, this is how I know it's more legend than fact, they made a deal that the wolf would stop attacking the village, and the people of the village would feed the wolf every day. And I just think it's a great illustration that everything and everyone actually can live in harmony. It just takes a little compassion and communication. So I love that story. And there's so many others. We could share tons of them. So something special happened to me this morning, and I really decided I wanted to share it with you. My brother Jeffrey sent me a video. Well, he actually put it on the Ingalls text thread. And I just really want to share it because it's so perfect. It goes so hand in hand with the idea of St. Francis. My brother lives in northern Arizona, and he and his wife befriend a lot of the wildlife around them. They befriend the javelinas and all the deer. And the deer come to his house every day. And Erin, my sister-in-law, and Jeff feed them. And one deer in this little group that has gotten in the habit of coming every year was clearly pregnant. And about 6 weeks ago, she gave birth. They didn't see her for about a week or two, and then she started coming with the baby. And I want to share the video of the baby with you. So here, let me get it up. I probably should have done this sooner, but that's okay. I'll do it now. All right, so here's the video. I hope you can hear the sound. I'm going to turn sound on. And I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Okay, so here it is.
Okay, here's baby. Look, baby keeps bouncing around. She actually stood there when I went out and got Mama her grain. She's so darn cute. Oh, now she's coming over to see what Mama's doing. Let's see. Oh, baby's eating grain with Mama. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, she stood there when I walked out, though. That was really cool. Hi, Mama and baby eating grain. Oh, look at those spots. So beautiful. Had another great rain in the night. Oh, that's adorable. Mama's so sweet. I pet her a little bit when I gave her grain. I rubbed her little head between her ears. Mama's my friend. They're always looking around to make sure they're safe. Okay, that's our Sunday morning deer video.
Well, I hope you thought that was as adorable as I did. It really spoke to what we're talking about and to the message of St. Francis. And oh, I just absolutely loved it. So what I thought we could do, just because in honor of St. Francis and just life in general, and just as an expression of mission possible, I thought it might be fun to offer a pet blessing for all the creatures in our lives. And if you don't have your own pet, think of someone else's pet, or offer a blessing for the birds in your yard or any animal you see. So let's just take a breath. I'm going to get my blessing here, so I can just read it off of my page. So here's, just take a breath, just kind of center in, and just draw in the idea of any of the creatures that you would love to offer a blessing for, as I offer this prayer, this blessing. And remember that to bless means to confer good on. So we're conferring good, the good of God, on all of these creatures. So infinite presence, form and formless, we give thanks to know that your divine presence is expressed in the form of all animals, in all of creation. We invoke a powerful blessing upon these animals, our pets, and all animals in nature today, in this moment. The love we feel for all animals is the same love that flows through us, through all of us. May we always be kind and understanding with our pets. May we provide for their care as though they were the most sacred of all beings. May these precious beings feel our love and be nourished by it, kept safe and warm and protected. May our companionship be blessed with play, laughter, and loving affection. We are deeply thankful for the many blessings these critters bring into our lives, and together we affirm that these animals are blessed, enlivened, and made whole. May they remain in good health and always be a reminder of the unconditional, flowing love of you, beloved Spirit. And so it is. So it is. Ah. And I think I'm just going to let that be our closing prayer. Ah. Since we already said our, and so it is. Oh, so I don't remember who's doing the sacred giving. Oh, Lisa. Lisa's saying it's her. And Lisa, you are muted. And while you unmute, I will find the prayer. I don't think we probably need, we probably don't need the how to give, because I think pretty much all of us
Here we
know.
go. There we go. There we go.
I will put up the sacred giving. But you can talk about how we can give.
Yes, yes. Well, it's time to do our to give, and I'm thinking about Ralane's story and also her experience and the experience of giving and then allowing yourself to receive that feeling that you get from making a difference. And I think that that's what we do with one another by giving to one heart, one mind. It's like we're giving and then we're receiving back the joyous connection that we have with one another. And I think we all know how to do it. We can either do Venmo or we can send Reverend Michelle a check. So I
And
don't.
let's not forget about unexpected income. If you've got some income,
Yeah.
and we would love to have share in a part of your good. All right, here is the sacred giving.
I give with a grateful heart, knowing that spirit is the source and substance of all supply. I joyfully participate in the circulation of abundance. My offering blesses the world and returns to me multiplied. I am grateful and I am prosperous. And so it is.
Thank you, Lisa. And we'll come back to you for the benediction in a minute. I just want to give some announcements. So we will be having our Monday evening prayer group and our Tuesday book study. And as always, I'll send out a reminder of the chapters, and they're also in the e-newsletter. And this Sunday, we will be at home. I spoke with Reverend Suzette this week about the topic and how fun it's going to be. And we're going to, I think the talk title is, you are a brilliant. You are a brilliant, luminous being. So that's a picker-upper. That's a great thing to talk about. So we'll be sharing that, and then I will share the Zoom link from them. So if you're out of the area, you can still join. That's always kind of fun. And let's see.
Prayer circle.
Prayer circle will be this week because it's the first Wednesday. And yeah, I think that's about it. We should be having a lot of fun. Oh, and then on the 9th, the Sunday after this, coming up Sunday at home, we're going to have Practitioner Sunday because I'll be in Arizona looking at the deer. So that's where I'll be. We're going to have a little family reunion, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, but I'll be on the call. I just won't be speaking. It'll be Ralane. No, it'll be Rob, Ralane, and Lisa will be speaking for us. So that should be fun. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to come back to you, Lisa, for our benediction.
Okay. So let's all just join together in the gratitude for the blessing of this service and the reminder that there are times when many people have pulled together in terms of taking the space to renew their mission, to renew their belief in the possibilities that are there for them to increase their life and mission, and the opportunity to look within in the ways in which we can forgive others and ourselves and can move forward with that other basic kind of spiritual mission that is to be the full embodiment of your divine self. And so I know that each of us has had our own intake in terms of this service. And I wanted, essentially, I really want to express gratitude for the indigenous people of the world who are guarding our planet and who have their own rituals and beliefs that they practice in order to keep the earth in a safe place and to move forward with holding life in a holy manner. And so I release my word with a grateful thanking for all of the people in the universe who are identifying their individual mission that flows within the context of our wholeness, our oneness, and our unity. And so I release my word into law by saying, and so it is.
So it is. And so it is. So I'm gonna end with a song that's probably a little slower than I usually end with, but I thought this was a great reminder of who we really are in God. So let me sure. Might be helpful. Oh no, my computer sound is being shared.
My family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all right. Ooh. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Oh, yes, we are. That is one of my favorite songs. It always gives me God bumps every time I listen to it. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. I am going to turn off our recording, so we'll say goodbye to our replay people, friends.